Carlo, definitely.
For an exclusive interview with His Serene Highness Prince Albert of Monaco. Plus, a rare inside look at the legendary and extravagant Monte Carlo Casino.
I won. I can see how you get hooked on this if you win.
Then it's time to kick back and indulge.
On the French Riviera, where you can jet set with the yacht set.
Set sail on a whirlwind tour of 4 premier Mediterranean destinations, overflowing with amazing weather, great shopping, and beautiful people.
Another beautiful day in paradise, huh?
Then finally prepare yourself for the ultimate royal tour.
That's the king's bedroom, and that's where he used to come out and talk to his people. Bonjour.
Step back in time into a never-ending spectacle of decadence, the Royal Palace of Versailles.
This is the famous painting of Louis XIV.
You've never seen royalty like this before, from King Louis to Marie Antoinette to Napoleon himself.
This is something you don't see every day. Napoleon's bedroom.
Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime walk through history.
Picture it's the 17th century and you're walking through the king's gardens.
Get ready, Laura Mackenzie's Traveler starts right now. This week from Monaco, St.Tropez, and the Palace of Versailles.
Today is a very exciting day because first, we're in Monaco, one of the smallest countries in the world and definitely the most glamorous.
Monaco. For centuries, this tiny principality has been the playground for royalty, and more recently, for the rich and famous. Resting on the colorful coast of the French Riviera and overlooking the beautiful blue waters of the Mediterranean, its amazing climate, luxurious resorts, and world-famous casino attracts tourists from all over the world. With a total area of less than 1 square mile, this tiny country uses every square inch of space. Old Town Monaco is definitely the place to start. Perched high up on cliffs that seem to shoot straight up from the sea, you can practically see the whole country from up here. The Palais du Prince, or Prince's Palace, is the focal point, which sits at one end of Old Monaco. This has been home to the royal family for hundreds of years, and even today it continues to carry out many of its royal traditions.
You see all these people waiting? It's for the changing of the guard. 11:55 every day, and it's happening right now. Go!
The palace has been home to the Grimaldi family since 1297. And even though the family still lives there, it's open for tours during the day. And one thing you should definitely look for, if the flag is flying over the palace, that means the prince is home. And in this case, it's His Serene Highness Prince Albert II.
Principality is, as we know it from my family's presence in Monaco, is 709 years. The fortress of the 13th century was captured on the night of January 8th, 1297 by my ancestor Francis Grimaldi. Monaco was under different rules at different times of its history, finally recognized by the King of France by the Treaty of Peronne in 1641. And that's when the lords of Monaco got the title of princes.
You're not done yet. Everybody's dazzled by the palace and the changing of the guard, and they sometimes miss one of the best things up here. Turn around. Over here is Old Monacoville, and this is what you really have to see. The little shops and alleys and restaurants. You go through that archway and it'll take you to the cathedral. Pick any of these other archways. It's fantastic. Just start walking.
Monacoville is the oldest part of Monaco and marks the place where the country got its start. It was once a fortified town, and in some places the old fort walls still stand. You don't have to worry about getting lost. You might get turned around, but this area on top of the rock is only a few blocks long. All roads lead from the palace to the cathedral.
If you have a short amount of time, this should be number 3 on your list. First, the palace, then the casino, and here, the cathedral in Old Monacoville. If you remember the newsreel footage, you remember Princess Grace and Prince Rainier were married here. It's also where they're buried. And yes, you can go inside.
The great altar and marble throne inside gives this sanctuary a truly regal atmosphere. The cathedral is at the opposite end of Old Monaco from the palace, but since everything is so close together up here, you can walk the distance in about 5 minutes.
Oh, look at this, adorable. I love these little things. The Grand Prix, everything Grand Prix up here.
While shopping and sightseeing are fantastic, one thing is for sure, all this walking around builds up an appetite.
Up here in Old Monaco, they have these sandwich bars. And here you can really save some money, too. Look, we have pizza, €3. A croque monsieur, which is something the kids really like, is grilled ham and cheese. Quiche, €3. Oh, and here the sandwiches. The bread is to die for. And you know, the best thing about getting a sandwich, you can keep on shopping.
Old Monaco is the oldest and most historic area, but not necessarily the most famous. That would be Monte Carlo, named to honor Prince Charles III in 1866.
They don't allow cameras in the casino, but we're here before they open, and I really want you to see inside. So, with a little bit of luck.
Fresco-lined walls and crystal chandeliers are your first clue that extravagant doesn't even begin to describe the casino's decor.
Now, in order to bring a camera into the casino, we had to come in before the opening time, but I'm going to get a little lesson on how to play roulette.
Let's see what Lady Luck has in store for me.
What do we have?
24 per you.
Oh, 24. I won. Oh my gosh. How much do I win? €350 I just won. You know, I can see how you get hooked on this if you win.
One thing that stands out is how clean and manicured everything is in Monaco. There are gardens and flowers everywhere.
Look at this. Not one flower out of place. And the strange thing, you never see a gardener. You never see anybody working on these bushes and flowers. These guys are good.
But that's not all. So is the shopping.
Who said this trip isn't educational? From this corner at Casino Square, you can learn French. All right, are you ready? Lanvin, Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, Cartier, Louis Vuitton.
Though there's plenty to do during the day, when the sun goes down, that's when Monte Carlo really gets hot. Evenings here are one big party. And when the restaurant's empty, the casinos fill up. And even if you're finished testing your luck with the high rollers, the party continues. Up next, it's time to jet set with the yacht set in stunning St.Tropez. We'll show you all the hot spots, world-class shopping,
You'll find designers and one-of-a-kind pieces here that you'll never see anywhere else.
and the best places to eat.
This is where to come for lunch and dinner because the atmosphere is fantastic.
Where Laura Mackenzie's Traveler continues. Here's a tip. Unlike casinos in Vegas, you have to dress the part at the Monte Carlo Casino. Coat and tie for men and cocktail or formal dress for women.
Laura Mackenzie's Traveler. We'll be right back.
For more information and tips on my favorite travel destinations, visit me online at lauramackenzietv.com. Welcome back, and don't forget to check out lauramackenzietv.com.
Welcome to the French Riviera. Today, I'm in St.Tropez. How cool is that? Famous for its pastel-colored houses, Brigitte Bardot, the yachts, and just one of the great places I'm going to show you between here and Monte Carlo. So if you're ready, I can't wait to get started.
The French Riviera is one of the most famous resort destinations in the world. Its warm climate and location on the Mediterranean has made towns like Saint-Tropez and Monte Carlo European hotspots for more than 100 years. Today, it continues to attract some of the world's most celebrated figures. Sir Roger Moore, Sir Elton John, Joan Collins, Tina Turner, just a few who call the French Riviera home. Now, how can you blame somebody for wanting to drop their anchor here? Not only is it absolutely beautiful, but the weather is similar to Southern California for most of the year. Beautiful medieval villages are scattered along the coastline, and many are within driving distance for incredible day trips. The Côte d'Azur, the south of France, the French Riviera, whatever you call it, it's very special. No place is this more true than in one of the most famous towns here, Saint-Tropez. This is where the jet set come to mingle with the yacht set, and the beautiful people come to mingle with each other. Originally the main commercial port in France, fishing and shipbuilding were the main trades, and three-masted sailing ships were the common vessels. Today, tourism is the main source of revenue, with extravagant yachts tied up in port instead of 18th century schooners. Visitors love the history, the climate, the boats, the beach, and each other. Saint-Tropez became world famous almost overnight when Brigitte Bardot appeared in the film And God Created Woman. The city's cobblestone streets and pristine beaches immediately caught the attention of filmgoers worldwide, and the beauty of the area continues to keep it in the spotlight. Since then, Bridget Bardot has lived here in St.Tropez, promoting tourism just by being here. In fact, if you look over there, that's her house. Back on dry land, all roads lead to and from the port, and those roads are lined with gold. Gold credit cards, that is.
Everybody told me before I got here that the shopping in St.Tropez is really good. So I said, well, what does good mean? And they couldn't tell me. So here's what I found out. 3 things. 1, good design. You'll find designers and one-of-a-kind pieces here that you'll never see anywhere else. 2, good quality. The construction, the materials, everything is the best. And 3, great, not good, variety. There are so many shops here, you will be busy all day. So, gotta go.
You can find the world's top designer brands in St.Tropez. But don't expect to load up on fake designer labels here. This is one place people come for the real thing. Located between the cities of Cannes and Nice, Antibes is the gateway to one of the most luxurious areas in France, the peninsula of Cap d'Antibes. Desirable for its incredible beauty and great location, from here you can face yourself and take day trips to explore the entire Côte d'Azur. But remember, be kind to your feet.
Ow, my feet. Oh, wrong shoes. Wrong shoes. Ow.
At the bottom of the hill, a morning produce market is where to come for local color. Pick up a few things for a picnic lunch or just get lost in the atmosphere. Here at the market, you're invited to get up close and personal with your favorite fruits and vegetables. Touch them, squeeze them, and take them home. And of course, it wouldn't be France without the fine wine and cheese. In open-air markets like these, shopping with the locals is half the fun. Well, maybe not for this fella. A weekend antiques market caught my attention. Things you'll never see anywhere else.
You know what I'm impressed with? These are real antiques. I mean, this stuff is really old. You'll really find some good stuff.
From books, in French of course, to records and clothes, everything is so, well, French. There's nothing like shopping for bargains, but all that snooping through other people's stuff can sure work up an appetite.
Just inside the walls, you'll find all the outdoor cafes. Now, this is where to come for lunch and dinner because the atmosphere is fantastic. All the menus are always posted outside. You can order a la carte, and there's pizza and pasta on all the menus for the kids. You can order the special of the day, but I find the best value is what they call the menu of the day, where you get 3 courses for 1 price. A starter, a main course, and a dessert.
Antibes is one of my favorite little towns here on the Riviera, but its sister town is a 5-minute drive to the other side of the peninsula, Juan-les-Pins. A lovely little seaside town that's a perfect complement to Antibes. If you're looking to relax in style, then head towards the end of this exclusive peninsula to Cap d'Antibes, where luxury villas and a couple of world-class hotels are quietly and elegantly tucked away. The Cap d'Antibes Peninsula is the perfect place to experience the elegance of the French Riviera. Each day is promising, and each night has the potential to be explosive. Up next, it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip through the ultimate royal retreat.
It's just the most impressive palace I've ever seen.
It's the legendary Palace of Versailles. Don't miss it. Here's a tip. The best time on the French Riviera is in May, June, and September. July and August are crowded and hot with heavy traffic and hard to get reservations. Don't forget to join us on the web at LauraMackenzieTV.com. Welcome back, and don't forget to check out LauraMackenzieTV.com.
There's something kind of special about driving around the corner here in Versailles and coming across Louis's little country home. It's just the most impressive palace I've ever seen. Versailles is great. It's a day trip from Paris, and there's a lot more to see around Paris. But for now, bonjour, welcome to my home. I wish.
The Chateau at Versailles, where the art and architecture of acclaimed artisans united with the abundance and arrogance of the aristocracy. Originally built in 1623 by Louis XIII as a hunting lodge, the king loved the chateau so much that he decided to enlarge it. When his son, Louis XIV, ascended to the throne, he felt that Versailles was too small and too plain. So he began embellishing the chateau, and work continued on Versailles all during his reign. Spending half of France's treasury and employing over 30,000 workers, Louis XIV's grand vision for Versailles nearly bankrupted the country he loved and was so proud to rule. With 12 miles of enclosing walls, 26 acres of roof, and over 2,000 windows, it takes 2 days just to get through what you get to see on the public tours.
I'll give you a few tips on what to bring here. Comfortable shoes. You're gonna walk a lot. Cobblestones. I bring this umbrella. Keeps me from getting sunburned and too hot. Water. Gotta bring water. Here you go. A few snacks.
The moment you step inside Versailles, you're transformed into a different time and a different way of life. You can almost see the clouds of dust wafting from powdered wigs, 67 staircases, 6,000 paintings, 5,000 pieces of furniture, and almost 300 years of history tend to overwhelm the senses. Originally built as an Italian terrace, the Hall of Mirrors is the most famous room in Versailles and certainly the most spectacular. Over 200 feet long, the Hall of Mirrors took 10 years to build and decorate. On either end of the Hall of Mirrors are the Hall of War and the Hall of Peace, respectively.
This is where the Treaty of Versailles was signed. The ceiling has pictures of Louis XIV during his reign. Now, to give you an idea of how big this is, I'm gonna take my shoes off and I'm gonna run to the other end, okay? 73 meters, about 200 feet. This is how long it takes.
Still running. Still going, just me and the Energizer Bunny. Now, back where I started was the war room, and I finally arrived in the peace room. Okay, now, you guys chat among yourselves. I have to run back and get my shoes. Whew, that's a big room. Located in the exact center of the chateau, the King's Bedchamber was the center of activity during Louis XIV's reign. It was here at 8:30 a.m. each and every morning the first valet of the chamber awoke the king with the words, "It is time, sire," thus beginning the ceremony of levee, the ceremonial rising of the monarch that involved 100 men in total.
This is the chapel. Now, the king would come through these doors every morning, walk out this way. The lower court would be on the lower level watching mass. The higher court would be all around the balcony, and the king would come out and stand right there on that same carpet.
With its elegant Corinthian columns reaching toward the heavens, those beautiful frescoes adorning the vaulted ceiling, and a gilded pipe organ fit for a king, the royal chapel was the ideal setting for the most significant religious events during the French monarchy. The royal chapel took 10 years to build and decorate, and was the site of Louis XIV's marriage to Marie Antoinette. The gardens at Versailles are just about the only thing I can think of that rival the beauty and enormity of the chateau itself. If you go by numbers alone, let's see, 2,000 acres of grounds, 27 miles of trellises, 200,000 trees, 210,000 flowers planted every year, 50 fountains with 620 fountain nozzles. Can you imagine paying that water bill? In Louis XIV's time, fountain guards were ordered to whistle when the king approached so the fountains could be fully turned on. It's good to be king. Here's a tip. Know that overseas